Baptist Children's Corner. My name is Dave. This is COVID Home Edition number 16 for August 2nd. It's August already. Do you believe it? Okay, today we're going to talk about determination, being determined. Some people kind of think it's like being stubborn or pig-headed or head like ox, but I hope I show you the difference. All right, when Cassie, when we first moved to our last townhouse complex, Cassie was about 6 years old, and there was a girl 2 doors down. Her name was Emily, and she was 6 years old, and they got along great. Of course, they were famously, you know. Emily got a bike, and so I was determined that Cassie should keep up with Emily. So we got a bike for Cassie, and I'm going to teach her. She's got 3 older brothers. I taught them, you know. I can teach you how to ride a bike, you know. And I said, so Cassie, let's go. I'll teach you how to ride a bike. I'm determined to, you know. And she said no. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll teach you. No. I said, yeah, I can do it. I taught your brothers. You know, I can no. And do you want someone? No. I said, well, do you? No. So okay, you know, Don and I we're not going to force you. We're not going to make you. You know, whatever. So put the bike away, and off she goes. And all right. But a week later, I come home, and there she is riding around in the parking lot with Emily. And they're riding around and around and around in the parking lot. They're playing this game called Parking Lot Garage, where they go up and down the ramps, whatever. But she's riding her bike. So I go in the house, and I said to Donna, what happened? She goes, she came in, she took the bike, she took it out. I looked outside, and there she is riding around and around. She was determined she was going to ride with her friend Emily. Now, I could have made her and forced her and been determined to make her, but she was stubborn that she said no. And then she was determined that she was going to do it. She wasn't stubborn. She was determined to go ride that bike. So she got out there. She got on it. The way she rode it, that's great. I like that. My son Lucas, he had a son named Killian. We lost Killian to cancer just before Killian's 3rd birthday. Killian had Lee's disease, and that means his body couldn't process food, so he really couldn't move around that way. He kind of sat and pulled himself. And Lucas missed out on being able to run and jump and play with him and teach him to do these kinds of things. And he was so looking forward to that. So Lucas decided that after Killian died, Lucas said, I'm going to be the one and run and jump and play for him. I'm going to do all those things anyway. So he started doing Tough Mudders. I don't know if you've heard of Tough Mudder. It's basically an adult obstacle course. They have, you know, you have to crawl through the mud, but it's actual mud, through a tunnel that's half full of water, and climb a wall. It's not just a little wall. It's like 20 feet tall, and it's a tough thing. It's a tough mudder, you know. And they get all covered in mud and soaking wet. But he did this, and he did it for Killian, and he was determined that he wouldn't lose, that he would gain something back from losing Killian, that there would be something, he would run for Killian. That's what he was going to do. Now, he did so well, he was doing really well, that he actually got invited to the world's toughest mudder, which happens once a year in Las Vegas. And he went. And he said, I'm going to go. So he trained really hard. He got a partner to go with him who was going to, you know, dish him out the water and make sure the food's ready and then give him snacks and do the things that, and basically talk to him, mostly encourage him. Do the things that would help him out. So, and the two of them that flew off to Vegas, and, you know, we helped him out, like, as much as he can to raise some money to pay for everything. And he got equipment for, like, wet and dry and the whole deal. So he goes to Vegas, and what there is in Vegas is the world's toughest mudder. It's a 5-kilometer circuit with 20 obstacles around that circuit that you run for 24 hours. It's not who does the fastest, it's who does the most laps in 24 hours. So, okay, go Luke, you know, and we're talking, how many do you think you'll do? And they're saying, I don't know, I thought maybe do 8 or 9. I didn't know. He was hoping for somewhere like 10, 11, 12. I think he was trying to get up in there. I forget how many the winning guy had. Something supernatural, like 30 or something. Like, are you kidding me? You know? So, but away they go. Now they go to Vegas. They go to this thing. Now, it's this course that you can't do this downtown. They did this out in the desert. So they go out to the desert. There's 1,000 people. Just over 1,000 people registered for this. So the 1,000 tents, they're all set up. They've got their part. They're ready to go. They set it up. He goes. They take it off. It's the desert. So during the day, it's really hot. Really hot. So his buddy's out there, like water, like salt snacks or whatever. The right things. Giving him the stuff he needs. Gatorade, I don't know what. And Luke's doing it. He's doing well. You know, I was like, atta boy, Luke, you know. But then it turns night. Now, I don't know about you, what you know about the desert at night. Apparently it's very, very cold. Well, apparently it is very, very cold. And he had clothes, but he had just passed his 4th lap. And he was going around when it basically, the temperature went from here to here. Now they had different obstacles, one of which is water. I'm sure there was many water things, but one of them that I saw in a video, I can show you the video if you want. You jump out and you hit the bell with your hand, and then you drop into this tank like 10 feet full of water, and you climb out going on. If you miss the bell, you got to come around again and drop into the water. So you're dropping it. So it's freezing cold, and you're dropping it in the water. And if you didn't have the right clothing, you're going to be in trouble. Lucas got in trouble. At about 4.5 laps, he fell into a state of hypothermia. He just started shivering, uncontrollably shivering. So he made his way back to his tent. 800 people of the 1,000 quit. 800 people. They went back to Vegas, folded their tent up, went back to Vegas, and too cold. Got a hotel room and whatever you do in Vegas, But Lucas said, I'm determined that I want to finish. I came here to finish this, to do 24 hours. I'm determined to do it. So he went back to his tent with his buddy, crawled into his sleeping bag, and shivered for the rest of the 24 hours with hypothermia. There's nothing warm there. You're in the desert. So he just got cold. But he finished. He was determined to finish, and he finished. And I don't know what he got, like a wristband or something, But what he got was in his heart. He finished something he was determined to do. He knew he wanted to do it, and he did the world's toughest mother for his kid, for Killian. And I really, really like that. I respect that. I think that's super. Now, why am I talking about determination? In the Bible, there's a story that Jesus tells. And he says, once there was a judge, and a widow came to him and said, I've been wronged by this guy. You got to set it up right. You got it right. And he kind of slept her off. And, and women can't really go all the places where the men can go. So she would show up here and there, and he kept sloughing her off, and whatever. He kept doing, but she kept showing up, and kept showing up, and kept showing up, till eventually he's like, all right, and he righted the wrong. Now Jesus says this about that. In the same way, God in heaven will surely favor those who love him sooner rather than later. God in heaven will surely favor those who love him. That's us. We're Jesus followers. We go to church. We love God. He's going to favor us sooner rather than later. Sooner rather than later. And now I think now Jesus is talking about determination. He's talking about that widow who kept coming back and kept coming back and kept coming back. In the same way, God will favor you sooner rather than later. I think that's a determination thing. I think it's kind of talking a little bit about prayer. The 3 answers to prayer. It's yes, no, and wait. And when you get the wait, I think that's when your determination comes in. And I think you need to pray and pray again and pray again. You're not getting a no. You're not getting a yes. But you know you're on hold. And I think determination at that point will go a long way. I think that's the point of the story. I don't know. But I know determination is a good thing. Stubbornness, not so much. All right, that's all I got for this week. I hope you have a great week. And remember, it's not yes, no, maybe. It's yes, no, and wait. I love you guys a lot. Ciao. Take care.